I'm surprised at how many traders, both new and experienced, don't use a VPS, and it's costing them money. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the importance of the VPS, the full setup, so you can get the best out of your trading edge. You ready? Let's take a look. Okay, everyone, before we start jumping into the technical bits of the VPS, just going to cover very quickly of what is a VPS or a virtual private server, because some of you actually may not know. Well, a virtual private server is what you may also commonly know as cloud computing. So you've got Microsoft Azure, Amazon AWS, and Google Cloud. I'd say they're the top players at the time of recording, and you've likely heard of one of them names before. Now we're going to actually look at a dedicated Forex VPS service provider, which makes things a lot easier. But yes, these are the biggest providers. Cloud computing. No, your VPS isn't in a physical cloud. It is located in a data center, just something like this. So you can see from this picture, you've got rack space, you've got servers, you'll have a lot of machines running. So ultimately, you're renting a laptop or a server. And is that something that you can dedicate, is a dedicated service you can trade from purely by itself. So long as you've got an internet connection, wherever you are, it could be at your home, that's depicted here. You could be on holiday, you could be about to jump on a plane, anywhere in the world, a hotel with work. So long as you've got your means, your laptop, your tablet or whatever, and an internet connection, you can connect to your VPS. And the benefits that come with that then is it's mobile and flexible. So you can be anywhere in the world, you can access it so long as you've got an internet connection. There's an increase in performance, and that's because you've got a dedicated service. So you don't have any other programs installed, anything else running. So you've got absolute maximum certainty that nothing is going to crash or bring it down. It's 24/7 uptime. So because it's provided by a VPS provider, you've got less chance of the internet connection going, unlike if you were at home whilst you're asleep, less chance of power outages. And yes, they do have maintenance periods, but you'll find these maintenance periods are typically during a weekend when the markets are closed. And that's also why we use a dedicated Forex provider rather than one of the three aforementioned companies. And then finally, an increase in security. Because again, this is a dedicated service, you don't have your personal data, files, anything to do with yourself on there. It's purely for trading. So that's just better from a security standpoint too. Now that you know what a VPS is, it's time to sign up for a VPS provider, one that is dedicated to help you trade Forex. We covered that there's Google Cloud, Amazon, AWS, and Microsoft Azure, but at least with a dedicated VPS service, they're sympathetic to understanding when to run their maintenance, i.e. not whilst the markets are open and doing it at the weekend, and take things such as that into consideration. It's also a lot easier to manage. So people like you and I, just regular Joe Blogs without an IT degree, can technically work our way around pretty easily to connect to the VPS. So let's sign up for this broker. Now I've left a link in the description, so if you go and check that, and this link, I'm just going to paste it in here. Yes, it's a referral link. Now, look, you don't have to use it. If you feel like you're getting value from this video, massively appreciated. So we just hit enter there and be very careful. Pay attention. Sometimes you get this extra 20% off and you can save up to 40%. So here it says extra 20, so you can copy that. It's with forexvps.net. So go and do yourself a quick search to see if there's any offers on at the time. But at least with this one with me, I'll sign up and I'll get an extra 20% off per month. I'll just click accept all, and then we can have a look at Forex VPS. I'll click launch now. So I'm going to go for the monthly. And what we can go down here is it shows the price in pounds. Wherever you are, it should change to your local currency. And it says here how many platforms you can run. Now, I'm going to just choose core here at £27 a month. So I'm going to select that. And what we have here, it tells you There's 2 CPUs, 4 gigabytes of memory, and it tells you roughly how many you can run, 1 to 3. I'd say personally 4 with that. What you can also do is make a few performance tweaks. So that's possible to just squeeze a bit more out, and it shows you your operating systems here. So yeah, that's all we need. Now, whilst we're on this price point here, and this is where I think a lot of people go wrong, is they may see £27 a month as a monthly cost, but trust me, the speeds, the latency, the quicker speeds to connect to your broker, how your trades are executed, everything, it is well worth paying that money for your trade execution. If you can't get your head around that, this is something in terms of the mindset side, which we often visit. This is where you first need to look. And I speak to so many traders who have been in the game a while and they can't seem to get their head around a sort of necessary business expense. Just like a chef would have to spend money on food to produce the output, you do have to spend a little bit of money on a VPS, and it's well worth it. So hopefully that's convinced you by now on the dangers of using your laptop, and we've got all the benefits and why it's worth this money. So we're going to click launch now, and we're going to go through this whole setup. So it tells you here, again, it just summarizes what we have. If we go down, it says, how would you like to be billed? I've chose monthly. Now, your location, mine's in UK, but this, I want you to consider where is your broker located. The closer this server is to your broker, you're going to get quicker speeds. That's the important thing right here. Now, I know my broker, they have a server or 2 in the UK, so I'm happy with that. So I'm going to keep it there. But look, let's say even if I was in the UK, but I wanted to be closer to New York. Have we got New York? We've got Miami. There we've got Los Angeles, Chicago, Washington. There we go. So even though I'm in the UK, if my broker was in the US and I got quicker speeds from my server to the server of the broker, that's the bit that matters. Okay. So just do your checks, make sure what's the best. I'm not going to have daily backups, and I'm just going to go for Windows 2019. So 2016 may be going out soon enough. I just got to personally choose 2019. Nothing's stopping you using anything else here, but it's just what I know basically. And then it summarizes all your details. Now what we have here is your card payment details and then your billing address to create your account. So I'm just going to pause this video here and I'm just going to go through. You can pay however you wish with PayPal. I'm just going to fill them details out and we'll pick it back up. That's the payment now complete. And once it's all done, you just get this screen and you can see here, it says active. Next due date is the 1st of the 10th. So that'll be the next payment date. And if I just hop over to my email here, you can also see that it says your VPS is setting up. We've got the invoice confirmation, etc., etc. So that's what you should see by now. Back to the VPS then. So this is getting built. You can see here the host name and the IP address. Now, look, I appreciate this is going on YouTube. Just to let you know, this is going to stay up for anyone who likes to test IP addresses and have a pop. It's not going to be there for a while. So this is just for the setting up purposes only. What we got here is you can click manage your service. So I'm just clicking on that, and you can just rename a few things if it makes it easier. Payment method is Stripe. There's your primary IP address, which we'll be using very shortly. You can start and stop your VPS, just like rebooting your laptop. You can change the passwords as well. And this is going to take a little bit of time because it's like installing a new laptop. Look, when you get it from a shop, you pull it out of the packaging, you turn it on. That's just what's going to happen at the moment. So we'll just let that do its thing, and I'll come back and then we'll go through connecting to the VPS. I'll see you in a few moments. Okay, that didn't actually take long at all, probably less than 5 minutes. Let's take a look at the emails. So you can see here, once it's done, it says, you're all set up and ready to go. And let me see. We've also got a password. So let's go through a bit of information here. Right, and it says please keep this record. It's really super important to keep this. First of all, you've got your main IP address. That's the numbers here with the full stops, the dots, the decimal places, up to, you see this semicolon here? So that's known as your IP address. The number after the semicolon is known as your port address. So if you're using this, let's say, as let's say home, imagine this is pointing someone, the IP is your home address anywhere in the world, but the port from after the colon, this is your port number. This could be a window or a door. So I'm not going to go too technical into it. The default for RDP, which we use, is 3389, but for a security reason, they've changed it to 42014. This is super important information. You've also got the username trader. Again, if you use Windows, you'll know the default is administrator. That's another dangerous security risk. So they've changed the port number for security and also your default username. That means that nasty hackers can't just use the administrator username and try and throw passwords at it to break in. And then finally, they give you your password, which is a unique and complex password. Again, those of you watching who want to try and connect, I've changed the password. Don't worry about that. So, but this is for you guys and the importance of staying connected to that. So now that we've got that email, we can go back to here and you're good to go. You're good to connect. And you can just click download RDP shortcut. So that'll download it. And if I show you this here, I've got mine there. So nice and easy with Windows. There's your shortcut ready to connect. So we double click. And if I just bring this on here, it says, are you sure you want to connect? It's never been identified. I'm going to click don't ask me again. I know this is the IP address I want, and click OK. It's then going to ask for a password, which is the one in the email, which is the one I've changed. I've just copied it from a notepad and I'm pasting it here. And now what we can see, right, is, so this here, that's my home desktop, my home screen of my laptop. But now you can see the remote desktop connection, i.e. the VPS, we have now connected to the VPS. So that is now us connected to the VPS right here. Now that we're at here, that's us connected, and there's just a few things we need to do. But look, it's got minimal stuff running. This dedicated service is for you to purely run off, which is an absolute benefit. So then, now you're connected to your VPS, it's now important, just like any other Windows machine, is we conduct maintenance. So we run updates. This is the first time, and we check our system for updates. And you can see it's waiting on a few already, so we hit install now. Now, just while that's going, I mentioned a few minutes back that the VPS providers, Forex VPS, may run maintenance, so you'll get emails, and it's typically during a weekend, which is important because the markets are closed. Likewise, please don't ever go and do updates unless it's the weekend and the markets are closed. Again, you just don't want to create any problems. If you get any installation or update errors, at least you can go back to Forex VPS. Let me just bring that up. At least you can go back here and you could stop the service. You can restart. You can speak to the team. You can upgrade the package. You can reinstall everything, is what I'm trying to say. If you did it on a Saturday or a Sunday and you're not stuck wondering what the hell's going on because you ran an update on a Wednesday afternoon. So that's going through, and that's what we must do. It's super important. We connect to it. We run all the updates. And I'm just going to let that do its thing for a few minutes and we'll bring it back in. Okay, you know what? I'm going to let that run. It's going to take quite a while. It's the first time. Again, it's just like when you unbox your first laptop or PC from a IT store. So I'm going to keep that running. One final thing I'm going to explain to you. And again, It's quite high level, but some people in the past who I have taught have got confused. So I just want to drive this final point home. Let's just open the browser here. We're still on our VPS, okay? So just going to minimize this. Now you'll remember when I said 24/7 uptime. The most important thing to do, unless you're doing some maintenance or running the updates like we're doing here, you do have to restart. Again, when I'm recording now, it's a Sunday, so it's markets closed and it's fine to restart. But don't turn off, you don't ever turn off your VPS or power it down or restart it unless you're purposely doing it for maintenance. What we do with our VPS is we simply just disconnect. So let me give you an example here. What I'm going to do is going to get a stopwatch and I'm just going to hit play. So that's running. Now, as I say, we don't go down here on our VPS and power it off, okay, or anything like that. We leave this running constantly. Now, just out of the shot, there's a little tab at the top here with an X. In fact, actually, if I just make this a bit smaller here, we're going to bring that down. So again, just bring that here. Most, it's not allowing it. There we go. Yeah, close. You can right click, but it's just cut off on the recording. There's like a tab. Let's come and see. We can unpin it. No. Right. There's an X where you can just like close the program down. So I'm going to just do that now. Right. Hit close. And it says, "Are you sure your remote session will be disconnected?" It is fine to disconnect. We don't shut down or power off the VPS, okay, unless we're doing maintenance. So we're just going to disconnect. We're back to my home screen now. And I've just left that running. I think it was in about the 40 something seconds when I closed that. And we're just going to double click on that icon again. It's going to ask for a password. We click OK. And here we have it right here. Boom. It's continued. So disconnecting is completely all right. It's not going to stop the services when you later start running your terminals, your MT4, your MT5 on here. It's not going to stop them. Very important. So again, finally, we don't ever shut down or restart unless it's specifically for maintenance. We simply just disconnect, and that is just by pressing the X. Or what you can also do is you, on your own Windows PC, you can just right click and go to close window. Done. And that's it. So what we've been through is what's a VPS. We've signed up for the service, Forex VPS, which is a super friendly service. It makes it as easy as possible so everyone can access it. You won't need an IT degree in order to connect to it. And it has a few security features built in to make things a little bit harder. They then set it up, they email you all the information to connect with along with a complex password. Please do not make an easy password to remember. You will get hacked. Keep that complex password. And then we've set up everything. We've run the maintenance and the updates, and you are now good to go. Now, if you like this video, I massively appreciate a like and subscribe. And I've also included a video if you want to now install your MT4s or MT5. Please check out these videos right here. And if this has been of use to you, please let me know by comments. Give me a like and share it with anyone who you think may benefit. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next side.